Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. It is Friday the 19th. It's not Friday the 19th. It's Friday the 21st of February 2025, and we are back for another show. And we've got some incredible breaking news, which we will announce after we have done the X-Files. But you might notice that there is a new logo on the channel. You might notice there is a little pancake to the left of Mew, and that is a new sponsor that we're going to cover today and go over with you guys. But it's a Friday, remember. We try and not talk about too much charty stuff on a Friday. So today we're going to go through MicroStrategy, or strategy as it is now. We're going to talk about the ECB, which is pretty boring, but we'll explain why they're so negative on Bitcoin. We're going to talk about the stablecoin yield, coin that has been approved by the SEC in America. We're going to talk about some coins recommended by these so-called experts that I'm going to tell you what I think of them. We're going to talk about Sky. That is the rebranded version of Maker. What's going on there? We're going to talk about Helium and Yap to Earn. Yap to Earn. And believe you me, Yap to Earn is very applicable today. A few good mornings to Mags, Hidden Agendas. Kishan is here, I believe. Jan is here. Bullish Bull is here. Velvet Rope is here, I believe, as well. Good morning to you all. It is a Friday, so we are going to take this a lot slower than we normally take it. Just making sure that everything is working, and it appears to be the case. Bullish Bull is on his way to somewhere. Well, I hope that somewhere is not my house. That's all I can say. We don't want any stalkery activity now, do we? So before we begin then, should we have a quick look at the charts and see where we are? Bitcoin coming in back over 98,000. I think I remember saying, maybe on Wednesday, maybe on Monday, we are likely to have a bit of a bounce back, and I don't want us to go to 98.8 or 98.6, I think I said at the time. And we're coming in at 98.3. Again, I am not a predictor of the future. It's just one of those things. We have various different prices that Bitcoin sits at. It's not a magic ball. We don't sit here and try and read tea leaves. We just go off previous patterns, and that's where we are. Now, if we do break this to the upside, obviously the title of the show today is BTC Blowout. We could go to 102,000. That's another price that Bitcoin likes to sit at. What is likely to happen is we will get rejected at maybe 100,000. Why do I say that? Because to get to 98.3, we were rejected, I think, twice at 98,000. We came back down. And now we're sitting above 98,000. The next leg up is likely to be 100,000. Good morning, KB. Good morning, Cyberpunk Danny. KB, you won on Wednesday. You are the Squid Game champion on Wednesday. So I need you to send me your Kronos chain address so I can send you your prize. Okay. Kabir and Danny both have sent me across their address. If you can send it across to me, I will make sure all three of you get your Moon tokens after the show. Bitcoin then 98.3, Ethereum coming in solid, just under 2,800. It did break 2,800 before we went live. Again, we are at a pause in the market. If you're trying to accumulate Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and those kinds of coins, these are really good prices, okay? My target, short-term target for Bitcoin is bottom right-hand corner. I think it's still there, about 112,000. My Ethereum target is still 3,500 to 4,000. That's where I think we should be. XRP probably should be somewhere towards $4. BNB, again, should be probably 750, around that price. Solana, obviously we've had the dramatic news of Libra, which brought the price down. Javier Milei, we've made a video which I've just finished uploading. The reason that the countdown didn't go live 10 minutes before the stream is because I was still uploading it. The Oracle has cast his beady eye on Solana. That video is going live after the live stream. So Solana, where are we? We should be over $200. We're at 177, but we did have a solid bounce back. And we do, by the way, have a long in on Bitcoin from 93.5. We almost caught the bottom. The bottom was 93.350, so we almost caught the bottom. So I don't know what we're up on that. I think we're up 60%, I think, on that at the minute. I think it was only a 10x. Doge is in there. Cardano coming in at 80 cents. Again, the coins are finding the price that gives them comfort. So 80 cents is the nice comfy chair in front of the fire for Cardano before it's got to get up, put its coat on, and move on to $1, $1.40. Chainlink coming in just under $20. Again, that was $25 three or 4 weeks ago. Not a bad price to get Chainlink at. So the coins are recovering. We've had a pretty crappy week, all in all. Starting with Friday night stroke Saturday morning. We've not had a great week. Now, we are not going to talk about IP. Not yet anyway, not until the news comes out that we can cover for you. Ah, perfect. KB sent it across to me. Brilliant. Virtuals is up. Remember, AI coins took a hammering because of DeepSeek. The Chinese AI project. What was fake about it was the costing behind it. They said it was 3 bags of Wotsits and a cup of Bovril to get this live. Utter BS. It was over $1.5 billion to build DeepSeek. It shook the AI market. All the AI coins are down. They are not bad projects, but don't go and buy anything with AI in the title. Look for the solid projects. Near, Render, FET. The coins that I've just picked recently are Virtuals, AI16Z, and AIXBT. They're my 3 picks, and I don't have a lot in them. They're not part of my main bag. Gito is up. That's a Solana-based token. We're going to talk about Maker later on. That's had a huge pump. I think that pump is in preparation for the switch to Sky. SPX, which now SPX is one of those coins. I don't want to talk about it because all of the shillfluencers talk about it. People make videos about it, not necessarily streamer videos, but videos with animations and stuff like that. I don't want to talk about it because it's overly in the conscience of other YouTube streamers, and I don't know whether they've been given a bag. I don't know, so I don't talk about that coin. Sonic, which was, of course, Phantom, that is up a touch. Pith is back up to 25 cents. Again, I don't hold a massive bag of Pith. I think I've got, I don't even know, maybe $100 of Pith, if that. But again, it's a really solid project. You can't own everything that you want. It's like life. You can't have a Lamborghini and a Ferrari and a Bugatti. Well, you can't unless you're somebody like Kishan or Tariq or KB. They can have them all. But us mere mortals, we can only dream of having one. I can't hold every coin that I like. Otherwise, I'd probably have about 40 different tokens. And that really isn't the way you should be working. If you're new to crypto, please don't end up with a bag of 40 or 50 different tokens. You can't keep up with them. You don't know what's going on. It becomes a full-time job. Stick, in my opinion, to between 8 and 12 tokens. And if you want to go and buy a bag of memes, do that. If you want to go and buy a bag of AI tokens, do that and forget about them. But your main portfolio should be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, XRP, the coins that are at the top, because they're the coins that might not pump as much, but they're also not going to crash through the floor as much. Near is up, Jupiter is up. There's a lot of gainers. Again, Jupiter at this price, I think I've given it a target of 140, 130 for the next leg up. Not necessarily the end of the cycle. I think the end of the cycle, we're talking $5. The further along the year we go, I might have to reduce that. But I still think we're looking good. It's only got a $2 billion market cap. So I'm not talking about it going to 100 billion or anything like that. And it is the #1 project on Solana. So Solana recovers from 177, maybe goes to 250 or 300. Then I would expect Jupiter to pump, as well as Radium as well. Radium is the #1 DEX over on Solana. Say is having its time in the sunshine. Celestia, for me, is dead. I don't see anything coming out of that project at all. Anyway, let's move on very quickly. We are not here to meander through every single coin today. Remember, if you are here, this is a two-way stream. Ask me any questions. I know we've got some new viewers, There are no stupid questions. I don't say that enough. There are no stupid questions. If you've got a question and you don't know about something, ask it in chat and I will either answer it on the stream, answer it in Telegram, or answer it on Twitter. That's simple as that. Now then, you have to decide. Are you a goat? Okay? Are you a goat? Okay? In this scene, this man on the floor, he is the shillfluencer trying to sell you utter garbage. Okay? He's selling you Libra. He's selling you Gotius Maximus. He's selling you all the trash coins. Okay? Be a goat. It's Friday. You can be whatever you want. We're in 2025. You can be a cat. You can be a dog. I am telling you today to be a goat. Okay? And you need to see off these shillfluencers. Okay? Now, you can't say magic words and make them disappear. That doesn't work anymore. But you can chase them off. Okay? So get those shillfluencers out of your timeline and stop buying utter garbage. Okay? That's my message. I say it 3 or 4 times a week, if not every single stream. Right then, let's move on to something serious now, shall we? Michael Saylor this morning, there's only room for one nation to own up to 20% of Bitcoin. And I think that will be the United States. To put that into context, that's 4 million Bitcoin. I do not believe that America will own 4 million Bitcoin. I don't think that's going to happen, okay? But Saylor has to be bullish. Remember another thing I say to you. Don't listen to what they say. Think about the reasoning behind why they say it. Strategy, which is the name of his company nowadays, they own an awful lot of Bitcoin. It's in their best interests to get America to own all the Bitcoin, because then the price of his Bitcoin goes up, the price of his stocks go up. It's in his best interests. I think we will be lucky if America owns 1 million Bitcoin. They already own, I think, 120,000. I think they're going to end up owning 1 million Bitcoin. But Russia, China already owns a big bag of Bitcoin. The UK, believe it or not, owns, I think, 60,000 Bitcoin. Please, please, for all that is holy in the world, Keir Starmer, you absolute fool, please don't sell our Bitcoin. Hold on to it. In fact, give it to a nerd. Get that nerd to go and lock it in the Tower of London along with the crown jewels and then hide it. That's what we need to do. We need James Bond to come back. Now that he's on Amazon, maybe he'll end up locking away all of our Bitcoin and keeping it safe from the Labour government. But Saylor is wrong. We're not going to see America holding 20%. I think we're going to see America holding 5%. But it wouldn't be as bullish. It wouldn't be a headline unless he said that. Again, he's trying to grab the attention for Bitcoin. That's what everybody wants these days in crypto. They want eyes on. Now then, according to a source that recently spoke with the SEC, the agency is very, very interested in staking, even asking industry for a memo detailing the different types of staking and their benefits. Why is this important? Because if you own $100,000 worth of an Ethereum ETF, or if you hold $100,000 worth of ETH, if you stake it, it pays you very similar to how a bank pays you interest. You'll get maybe 3% back. Every year, you will maybe make $3,000 worth of Ethereum. Solana has the same. Solana pays about 7%. $100,000 in a Solana ETF would pay 7%. Obviously, the companies investing in these ETFs, the BlackRocks of this world, they want that because that 7% becomes 5% to you. The 3% in Ethereum becomes 2.5% to you. So they want it, but under Gary Gensler, they said no. No staking. I don't care if it's called proof of stake. We're not allowing you to stake. That's what he said. Again, he is now becoming more and more of a distant dream, thankfully. Or a nightmare, should I say. So they're going to allow staking. It's absolutely going to happen. Look at the different tokens that are being approved for ETFs. Solana is a proof of stake. Ethereum is proof of stake. Cardano is proof of stake. The only 2 ETFs that we will have will be Litecoin and Bitcoin, which are proof of work. Everything else is proof of stake. So if you allow these ETFs to have all of these proof of stake coins paying interest every year, why are you stopping the end user who you're there to protect? Why are you stopping them from earning interest? It makes no sense. Staking should have been allowed when the Ethereum ETF went live. It should have been allowed, and it wasn't. My issue is the voting, because BlackRock will get a massive block of votes from having so much Ethereum, and that can change the direction of the market, which we don't want. Now then, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I'm probably going to cover it either in a video or we're going to cover it on the stream again. These are smart wallets, okay? The next generation of programmable gasless wallets built for mass adoption. Deploy in 10 lines of code and scale to millions of users. Why they change everything. I'm not going to read through this. It'll probably be something that we cover further on. The likes of Phantom and Soulflare are going to introduce this. But basically, these are the next type of wallet. So you've got your MetaMask and you've got Phantom, and they're pretty much dumb terminals. They are input out, input in, input out. They're very, very simple. This is going to hopefully stop an awful lot of fraud that goes on in crypto. Now, again, I don't want to cover too much about this, but there's a lot of things that these will be perfect for, can be used for. Now, AI agents, gaming and social apps. If you've got a wallet, for example, that you could set up to farm a game every hour, for example, on your behalf, you could just turn the wallet on to go and farm the gems from a game, and you can forget about it, and it will just go and do it for you. Alternatively, you could build a trading bot into your wallet. So you could say, right, if Solana falls below $150, buy it at 149.9. If then that Solana that I've just bought goes to 199, sell it at 198. So you can put limit orders into the AI bots, okay? Everything, however, this is the key. It's controlled by you. It's not controlled by me or an exchange that you're on or Phantom. It's controlled by you. So there's lots of things we can do. Also, allowing your bank to directly interact with your wallet is another thing that could happen in the future. What does that mean? It means Barclays could have their own wallet, or HSBC could have their own wallet. And you, for example, could allow Barclays to take your electricity direct debit out, or your gas direct debit out. The opportunities here are to create something that is yours and it answers to you, but you can tell it to do things. So this is really cool, and I think we need to do another video or another special about this, but I'm going to move on because it is a Friday and we need to relax on a Friday. Good morning, Solo Sky. Welcome to the stream. I hope you are well. Remember, if you're new here, smash the like button, hit the follow button, say hello, do all of those nice things. Right, this is the market. This is Bitcoin dominance. Now, a little bit like a zombie, it just won't die, okay? You can cut its arms off, you can cut its legs off, but Bitcoin dominance just isn't dying. Every time we think or we want it to come down, Bitcoin dominance just comes back, and it's just not going to go. And look at that. We've come back above this 61% line, and we're using 61% as support. Now, again, you can't read everything into a chart. These are just patterns that I'm reading out. There's no influence in here. But look, I don't want to talk too much, but it's turned, where's my cursor gone? It's turned resistance into support. It's using 61% to go higher, okay? We don't want this. We want Bitcoin dominance to pass away. You know, we want a bullet to the head as far as the zombie analogy is concerned. But it's not happening. And I can hear so many people on X telling you that the market is finished, it's all dead. It's not. Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin is 61% of the market. The alts are not running. Bitcoin is outperforming the market as a whole. Until this stops, we are not seeing alt season. okay? It does not mean the market is finished, okay? There is probably going to be a change to the market structure. Bitcoin may never fall below 50% ever again, for example. But we can see a sweep down here. And this down here would be relief for the alts, okay? It would give the alts, or it would signify that the alts are starting to make a comeback. But as it is, it's not happening. It's just not happening. I'm not going to do the charts because it's a Friday. We don't do too many charts on a Friday. What we will do is we will bore you to tears by telling you what is coming up next week. I did say I would start to include this, and the reason is that I was always picking these out of articles. It's a lot easier to get it from the actual source itself. Now, today is Friday the 21st. There's not a lot happening today. The one to keep an eye on, I think, is next Friday. We're going to see the PCE index. We're going to see the year over year. We're going to see the core index. We're going to also see where was the one I was looking at? Consumer sentiment is a big one as well. So we have a lot next Friday. And between now and next Friday, we've got a little bit of jobs reports. We haven't really got a lot. So that can give the market time to consolidate, recover to slightly higher prices. The RSI on a lot of alts is still in bear territory. Maybe we can have a little bit of a recovery next week on the alts. Now, this is the breaking news when it loads. 20 minutes in, we haven't even got to an article. Absolutely appalling. Absolutely appalling. Let's see. Anytime now, we will get this up. It should load. I don't know why it's not loading. Anyway, I'm going to load the first article of... Oh, there we go. Okay, we're up. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, this is big news. I should have put this on the big screen, but I was uploading the video about Solana, so I didn't have time to make a new UI for it. We are now partnered with Maple Finance. Maple Finance have about $600 million TVL, total value locked. And these are the types of partners we want on this channel. We like Mew, we like WolfSwap, we like Maple, okay? We like these projects. We've researched them. We don't carpet bomb for partnerships. We go out and we try and find them. Now, this isn't just a referral program. We are talking to the team in Maple. We know some of the things that are coming, some of the listings of the token that are coming, some of the stuff we can't talk about yet, and some of the stuff we're going to make videos about. But these are serious. We talk about big boy pants. You need to put your big boy pants on when you're in crypto. You need to stop playing with the likes of Libra and Trump and Melania. You need to put your big boy pants on. Now, why do I like this? Why do I like this project? First of all, I talk to you an awful lot about what do you do with your crypto when you get to the end of the bull run. Do you cash it out to your bank account? Do you cash it out to stables? Do you cash it all to Bitcoin? You've got multiple options. Maple, and I've mentioned Ondo in the past as well, by the way. We're not going to stop talking about Ondo. These types of companies are places where you can put your stable coins and earn a yield, okay? And that's what we've been looking for. Ondo, Maple, Goldfinch, all of those types of companies are maybe ones that you should look at for the end of the bull run, especially things like USDY, which is the yield-bearing stablecoin from Ondo. That's one example. Maple has its own products in here, which we will go through, okay? But not today. Today is the announcement. I put it out on Twitter about 20 minutes ago. Now, the good news is you can buy Syrup token. Syrup token is the token of Maple. And again, the Oracle will probably make a video about the technical analysis of that token. I will be more focused on looking at the benefits of Maple. And again, don't think that I'm not going to ask them the questions about, Do they, how do they compare to Celsius, which went out of business? How do they keep funds safe? Who are their custodians? They're the questions I'm going to ask. I'm not just going to simply sit here and say maple is the greatest thing since sliced bread, because of course it's not. It's the greatest thing since pancakes without syrup. So that is the big breaking news, and now we're going to get into the rest of the show. Anyway, let's talk about Bitcoin. This, we kind of mentioned Michael Saylor before, $2 billion to buy more Bitcoin. Again, we don't need to read into the depths of this. Michael Saylor is dollar cost averaging in to Bitcoin at a scale that nobody else is doing. Okay, there are some companies trying to catch Michael Saylor. They are trying to buy, but he's got not an unassailable lead, but he's got a big lead. And only nation states now, I think, are going to catch him. He is going to absolutely dominate the new Bitcoin financial market. Now, the question that nobody asks out there, that I'm going to ask to you now, why is Michael Saylor buying all the Bitcoin? How is Michael Saylor going to make money out of all the Bitcoin that he is buying? Does anybody ever contemplate those questions? Why is Michael Saylor doing this? Is it because he sees it like gold and it will appreciate in value? No, it's not. He has told you a couple of times, not many, in the last 2 years, what he is going to do with his Bitcoin and what he is going to let you do with your Bitcoin. Okay? So, he is buying all the Bitcoin. He sees it not as digital property, he sees it as digital land. Okay? They've got 500,000 Bitcoin. Now, when we're talking about Bitcoin at $250,000 or $500,000 in the future, obviously not now, then this is what? 447 billion, 480 billion, whatever it works out as. It's an awful lot of money. Okay? So it's worth 47 billion now. So yeah, it's probably going to go to about, let's call it for argument's sake, 150 billion. $150 billion in Bitcoin. How do you leverage that? Well, what he wants to do, and what he's talked about doing, is creating a hotel. That's how he describes it, where you can have a room in that hotel and you can rent your room out to people and maybe earn 3 or 4% return. But who are you renting the room to? You are renting your room to institutions. Institutions will be using Bitcoin as collateral, paying interest on it, running their businesses off Bitcoin. And that's what he sees as his yield in the future out of Bitcoin. So for those of you ever wondering, the interviews where he talks about this are few and far between. But that is his plan, to create a digital hotel where institutions rent rooms from him. And because you hold Bitcoin, you will be able to own one of the rooms in his hotel and therefore rent your Bitcoin out and earn a yield. That's one of the strategies. The other strategy is, of course, that you borrow against your Bitcoin, because the Bitcoin will go up faster than what you are borrowing. So if you borrow $20,000 today, then in 5 or 6 years' time, instead of being 20,000 out of 100,000, that might be 24,000 or 25,000 out of maybe 300,000. So then you can borrow more and you can continue to borrow fiat against your Bitcoin, because the Bitcoin price will go up faster, in his opinion, than any loan that you take out. And nobody's ever going to call in a loan at those rates. Good morning, Eugene. Welcome to the stream. I hope you are well. Right then, Bitcoin price 98.4. Look where we are. Very close to our, I don't know what it's called these days. Is it a midpoint? Where we have struggled in the past. That's just below the 100,000 that I said that we were going to get to and maybe get rejected at the start of the stream. We did come up. We did come off our lows. Now, I mean, I can draw as many lines as you want on here. You know, we can draw that line and say we've been putting in lower lows. I can then draw this line and say that we are approaching a end of a triangle. You could call it that if you want. I don't really care about that on a Friday. What I care about is that we have come down. This is one of the strongest bases we've put in for Bitcoin. And the last time we did something like this, by the way, the last time we did something like this was here, which was between, I think, February and October, which is what, 8 months we put in that base. Are we going to do the same thing again? I sincerely hope not, because I will run out of ink in my chart to talk about these things. I think we are in a period of consolidation. The market is waiting. There's so much bullish news to come out that I don't see a massive break to the downside. And as we've said before, 89,000 is the bottom for me. I'm not saying it's the absolute bottom, because we could have another conflict, but it's the bottom. And that's if we break 92. It might not even be 92.6. I think that line is probably wrong. Probably about there. 92.4 is probably the bottom of the range. Break 92.4, we've got 89,000. They are two incredibly strong levels of support. But at the other end, of course, we have strong levels of resistance. You can go back, you can look here. We have really struggled to break this 100,000 mark. And again, we've said before, you don't have to understand charts to understand psychology of numbers. Why do shops charge $9.99? In some countries, they charge $9.97. Why do they do that? Because psychologically, $9.99 is a lot less than 10. Okay? Bitcoin gets stuck at key prices. It gets stuck at key levels, psychological levels. Let me just make sure that we are working in the background. There we go, perfect. We get stuck at key psychological levels, and 100,000 is probably the biggest psychological level since 10,000. That's how big a psychological level it is. Now, we never really got above 100,000 and found much support. What we kind of did was we wiggled and we played with it. We did that. And then occasionally we tried to get above this level here, which didn't work. And then we came back down for a while to have consolidation. So 100,000, what do we need to see at 100,000? Well, we need to see something like this. Very similar to what we've got down here. We need some surety. We need some confidence that we can hold 100,000, because we haven't. We've broken it once, twice, 3 times. Let's call it 3 times we've broken it. And every time we've come down. We did for a while have some support, but overall we've come back down again. So we need to hold 100,000, and again, I am looking up, I am not looking down. That's the worst thing you can do when you're climbing ladders, is look down. Always look up, okay? We should be in a positive frame of mind. There are so many doomsayers out there, but that doom is coming from people being rug pulled on Solana. It's not because we are going to crash to the ground on Bitcoin. Now, I'm not going to spend a long time on this, because really it's not that relevant on the grand scheme of things. The ECB is looking to use digital ledgers for central bank money. Again, it's not a massive headline. Do I care about this? No, I do not. It is like dishwater. It's boring. It drives people to tears. It's what the ECB do. They are fun sponges, okay? Ursula van Dress, or whatever she's called, is a fun sponge, and a dangerous fun sponge, because she just sucks all the life out of everything. So what's important about this is not that they're going, it's not the headline, it's the fact that for some reason they've bashed crypto and they've bashed Bitcoin. They ignored it, they said it was a scam, Then they called it a threat. It's a threat to the financial system. No, it isn't. I said at the time, Bitcoin is not a threat to anybody. It's not going to undermine the financial system. Gold, coming off the gold standard, that didn't destroy the financial system at the time. What it did was it caused massive inflation, and 99% of your dollars have, $100 when we came off the gold standard is now worth $1. That's what it did. It allowed them to print money. Now, going on to the digital ledger will allow them to process the transactions. It will enhance market efficiency, yada, yada, yada. Again, they understand the benefits of the blockchain, but they don't want anything to do with Bitcoin. And again, it's a threat. That's what you need to understand. That is why they don't like it, for no other reason. And they will tell you it's a scam. They will tell you all kinds of things. But I think with a 1.4, 1.5, whatever we're at nowadays, are we at 2 trillion now? $2 trillion market cap asset. The 7th biggest asset in the world. Is that really a scam now? I don't think so. So they've tried their hardest to suppress it. Gary Gensler tried his hardest to suppress it. It's not worked. Now, this is exciting because as the EU are trying to kick Tether out of Europe, the SEC is now starting to approve interest-bearing stablecoins. Now this is incredibly bullish, okay? We've seen USDY, which is an Ondo product, where it pays about 4.6%. So you hold $1 of USDY, and you hold $1 in $1. And at the end of 12 months, your USDY will be worth $1, 4.5 cents, call it. It will have gone up in value by 4.5 cents. So these interest-bearing stablecoins, these are more of a threat than Bitcoin. Because if you can get, let's say you get 6% on a stablecoin, every bank will be emptied tomorrow. That's what you've got to understand. So the two important things to take away from this are, if I could just highlight the right thing, this is the first important thing, and this is the second important thing. Interest-bearing stablecoins is important because it's a first to allow you to earn money passively, number one. Number two, the 0.5% yield stops it being a threat to traditional banks, because traditional banks probably pay you 0.5% to 1%. So there isn't going to be a run on your bank account or on the bank accounts of these banks. That's the first thing that they're trying to protect. But they've opened the door. That's the thing. When a certain exchange tried to do this last year, Gary Gensler tried to shut them down, and I think they were paying 4% on their USDC, I think it was, and they tried to shut it down. But this is a first. They've approved YLDS, which I've never heard of. First ever interest-bearing stablecoin registered as a security in the US, according to a report from Fortune. Launched by Figure Markets, never heard of it. Paying 0.5%, which puts it in competition with USDT and USDC. It's reported fully compliant. We think it's a huge transformative play, which it is. Now, again, this is one of these things where you will get a non-entity launch the token. And that non-entity is the wedge that opens the door. So BlackRock aren't going to go for this first. Tether, Circle aren't going to go for this first. Ondo isn't going to try and get it registered just yet. But they will get a non-entity. Joe Smith and his Joe coin pays 1%. And he'll go to the SEC. The SEC will say, right, well, this is like a proof of concept. We'll see how this works. We'll get our policies and procedures ready for this, and then we'll go. And that is what they have done. So that's where we are. This is irrelevant. The YLDS is irrelevant. The interest-bearing stablecoin and the 0.5% yield is important, because mark my words, I am going to be sitting here in 2 months' time, 3 months' time, talking to you about a BlackRock interest-bearing stablecoin paying 3%. BlackRock are big, and what they say goes. Now, what BlackRock will be able to do is offer this through banks. Banks have been allowed to custody crypto from this year. So banks can now get in on the action. If a bank can offer you a 4% interest paying stablecoin and take 1% and give you 3 and then keep 1, they'll make money. That's what they care about. And you'll make money, and that's what you care about. Everybody makes money, okay? A little bit like the Oprah Winfrey thing. You make money, I make money. We all make money, okay? It's good, but it's a wedge at the minute. And that wedge is just to nudge the door open to get the big boys in, okay? You know, it's like when you get the little girl to wave a handkerchief at the side of the road and you pull over because she needs to be driven to the nearest town, and then all of a sudden the entire family gets in the back. That's what it's about. So this is, it's very significant, but it's not the end game. The end game is a BlackRock Ondo yield-bearing stablecoin. That's the end game. And BlackRock have pushed this company first into the doors of the SEC and say, you go and sort that out. We'll follow behind. It's good for crypto. It's great for you. And that's what we want. We want things which are good for you. Now then, let us move on very quickly. Top 4 tokens to buy to become a crypto millionaire in 4 months. I love these titles. Absolutely love them. Who's wrote this? Muthoni. Absolute rubbish, my friend. Absolute rubbish. These titles, a little bit like our title that we made for Solana today. Title of our video today is Solana is finished. Clearly it's not finished. The title of one of my streams today, this week, sorry, was Solana is finished. Finished going down is how you finish that sentence. But you need these to drag people in. None of these 4 coins I'm going to show you are going to make you a millionaire in 4 months. I'm going to tell you that now before I even bring one up. None of them are going to make you a millionaire. The only way you'll become a millionaire in 4 months' time by holding these coins is by holding $900,000 of these coins. Because yes, they are likely to go up 10 or 15%, and that will make you a millionaire, okay? But buying $50 of each of these coins is not going to make you a millionaire, okay? This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, okay? This is not one of those slicked-backed hair guys that stands in a room and tells you to compound your 65% APR interest over the course of 10 months and you'll turn $1 into $100,000. It's all rubbish, and it plays on your greed. And the reason that we have Libra is greed. The reason we have pump and dumps is greed. Greed is the problem. Now then, which 4 tokens are we going to have to endure on this Friday morning? Oh, Litecoin. We like Litecoin. Tariq likes Litecoin. This is has increased by 86%, making it one of the top tokens to buy. Why has it gone up 86%? Because it's going to get an ETF this year. That's why. And people are buying it in preparation for the ETF. Towards the end of 2024, LTC went parabolic. It went from a 5 to a 10 billion market cap. It's come down to 130. Oh, every day I read crap like this on the internet. Every day. Analysts now forecast it will break out and do a 38x to $5,000. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. Such a rally could happen sooner rather than later due to the hype around Litecoin being the 3rd crypto ETF in the US. This highly anticipated approval has also led to Litecoin's open interest soaring to a 4-year high. Okay. Before we move on to the next fairy story, let's go and have a look at Litecoin. Ooh, this is going to be fun. I think I'm going to run out of scroll. Okay, so this is Litecoin. Okay, let's wait for my stuff to load on it. Here we go. Okay, now let me scroll this down here. Okay, so this is the Litecoin chart, the daily Litecoin chart. Let's go to weekly. Let's go to weekly just to put this into context. Okay, so this line here is the all-time high for Litecoin, which is about $417. This down here is where I think it's going to get to in the bull run, which is $300. So I think we're going to get to $300 from here. We're already at $135. We've already had a massive move. We were talking to Tariq at what, $45 or $50? So Tariq's already 3x'd. Now, just to put that into context. Okay, so as you can see, that's the target. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to fit this on the screen. Okay, let's get rid of this. Okay, and all my lines. Let's get rid of them all. Okay. Now, all the lines have gone. Okay, so this is the Litecoin chart. Now, I don't know if you can actually see it. You can just about see it. Okay, so let me draw it in a line. Okay, this is the Litecoin chart. Okay, now, what was the name of this gentleman that said this? Mathoni. Mathoni tells you that we are going to do that. Okay, we're going to do that. We're going to go up 38 times. Okay, 38 times the market cap of Litecoin is going to put Litecoin at what, $500 billion when it's at 10 now, or 12, something like that. Okay. Never, ever listen to anybody that tells you anything like that. Okay, so that was fairy story number 1. Should we see what fairy story number 2 is? I've already, in a nice roundabout way, I've told you I think we might go to $300. That was fairy story number 1. Let's call that Goldilocks. Okay, now we're going to talk about Hansel and Gretel, and that is Ripple. XRP is another one to buy now. It's flipped resistance at the 50-day EMA, suggesting that the short-term momentum is again flipping bullish. At the same time, bulls have gradually gained momentum over the past month. Now, I don't even want to bring up the price target. Let's go and have a look. XRP has some catalysts. We know about that. They're going to get its own ETF. So Litecoin's had an ETF. Certainly XRP is going to get an ETF. Now, this is interesting because they haven't given a price prediction. Unlike the 38x on Litecoin, we don't have one. So I'm going to give you mine. Excuse me. We're at $2.50. I think the next leg up is $4. End of the bull run, $5 to $7, maybe 10 with a good headwind, but certainly not $100 like a lot of videos are being made on the internet. Again, 5k Litecoin. I know. Why do people write this stuff? Shouldn't there be a law against stuff like that being written on the internet? Again, I read something somewhere a few weeks ago and it made me laugh. Microphones, like this one I've got on now, they should cost $50,000. And you should need a license to talk on the internet, okay? It would solve so many of the world's problems, wouldn't it? Look at that person that was on Piers Morgan the other day, and they said that the Olympics should all be one category. We shouldn't have male or female in the Olympics. We should have one category. And Piers Morgan pointed out, well, if you do that, no woman would ever win a medal ever again. Again, he was right. But that woman should never, or man, I can't remember what it was. It might have been a man dressed as a woman. I'm not too sure these days. But the common sense seems to have gone out of the window, and it seems to have been replaced with sound bites. And sound bites will never make you rich. Hearing $5,000 Litecoin, hearing $100 Ripple is not going to make you rich because you're never going to sell it. And in December or January or February next year, you're going to come on here and say, I didn't sell my Ripple at $6.99 or $7.45. I didn't sell it because this guy over here with a really lovely haircut and clean shaven, unlike you, he told me it was going to $100, so I didn't sell it. That's great, but that guy with the slick haircut and clean shaven, he's now on a beach drinking cocktails, and you're not, because you listen to him. and you listen to him because you don't understand the fundamentals beneath projects. Anybody can just give you a random number and you'll go, oh, that's brilliant. I could sit here and tell you Bitcoin is going to $3 million in November. And what would you do? You'd buy everything. I'm going to buy everything. I'm going to remortgage my house and I'm going to go and buy Bitcoin. I'm going to put everything into Bitcoin because I'm going to 30x by the end of this year. And then in November, when it hits $148,500, I'm going to sell all of my Bitcoin. And then you're going to come back in March and I'm going to have a gold chain on and gold teeth and big diamond glasses. And you're going to go, I've still got my Bitcoin. And I'm going to go, I've got new glasses. Because I will have sold based on fundamentals. And there is so much of a lack of education in crypto. It is scary. And you see these stupid articles promoting prices that are never going to happen. Dogecoin is at what? This is actually sensible. This is actually sensible. We could go to 85 cents for Doge. I think Doge will go in this bull run to maybe just under $1, maybe 90 cents, 95 cents. So this is actually reasonable. After all the abuse I've given to Mathoni, okay, crazy prediction for Litecoin, no prediction for XRP, and a sensible prediction for Dogecoin. So he's 1 for 1, or he's 1 for 3. Not bad, really. Solana, this is the one I'm interested in. This is another token that can make you a millionaire due to solid fundamentals. Well, solid fundamentals have not been included in any of the article that you have produced today, my friend. But let's see what you have today. In terms of price performance, Sol has managed to defend a crucial multi-month support zone, 160 and 171. I think I said 163. By the way, for everybody out there, I did, in fact, give Kabir the 50 cents in Solana that I promised him. Why? Because I said we'd go to 160 something, 163, and we went to 162.50, and I gave Kabir the 50 cents. Okay, so he's the big winner of the week, along with KB, and actually Kabir's won twice this week. He should be paying me, not the other way around. So they think that there will be a bullish trend, with some anticipating a rally over $500, which could see holders become crypto millionaires. So to become a crypto millionaire from $160, $165, you'd need to start with $335,000. Let's put it into context, okay? So Mahoney, your article gets a 1 out of 10. Absolutely awful, awful, awful article. Fills people's heads with utter nonsense. Okay? I review these because I like to show you what I think of them. That's it. Rune Christensen, who sounds like he should be in some kind of fable or maybe even Vikings on Netflix. He sounds like the leader of a clan that wear black makeup and drink out of the skulls of their enemies. He believes that pushing the sky changes through will prevent an irreversible catastrophe. Now, we talked about this a long time ago, and MakerDAO suffered from a problem that a lot of DAOs suffer from. If you've got somebody that holds 45 or 55% or 60% or maybe even 30% of a token supply, their vote will pretty much always win, because people don't vote in DAOs. You only normally get a 40 or a 50% take up on the vote. Now, if you've got 30% of the token and 50% of people vote, you're going to get 60% of the vote, which means you win everything. So they have taken this decision to switch Maker to Sky. They're going to swap one Sky for about 2,500. Sorry, they're going to swap one Maker token for about 2,500, 3,000 Sky tokens. That's why the price is pumping. And this was about a laughable attack aimed at taking over Sky. And this is to do with a very large group of people within the MakerDAO community that own an awful lot of the token. Okay, MakerDAO is not perfect, and it's an OG project. It was built before a lot of these bugs were ironed out. So To prevent the attack, Sky is going to push through a debt ceiling, an available debt, a cooldown, a stability fee, a liquidation ratio, and exit fees. Okay, so they've made it a little bit more robust to deal with the changes. Sky holders that vote and borrow against their Sky have a much lower liquidation ratio, so the price of Maker would have to be pushed down to $300 for there to be a risk of someone seizing control of governance. It's currently at $1,200. I think it's gone up again today. It's why it's important to make the changes so the likelihood of such tactics succeeding are much lower. Again, I bring it up because we've covered MakerDAO in the past. You can see them trying to fend off the attacks, and because it doesn't mention it in here, the size of some of the organizations around the DAOs are causing problems. And this isn't just an issue with MakerDAO, this is an issue with everything. If you get enough people to club together, you have power. That's one of the problems with BlackRock having a vote within the Ethereum Foundation. So let me put that into simple terms. BlackRock buys 12 million Ethereum via its ETF, which is you and everybody else buying it as an ETF. BlackRock gets a block vote, which is 10% of the total vote. I've just told you that people don't vote. Now, if 40% of people vote and they've got 10% of the supply, they actually get 25% of the vote. Now, if ARK Invest and the others all get 3, 4, 5 million Ethereum, whatever it ends up being, they might end up with 40% of the vote. They might vote to increase staking rewards. They might vote to remove gas fees. They can vote to remove the Ethereum Foundation if they want. That's why block votes are so dangerous. And MakerDAO has a group of people that are a block vote, and they can make and break MakerDAO. And that was the problem that they had probably 6 months ago. They're trying to solve those problems. But these problems exist in every system, don't they? They exist in democracy. That's why democracy, if you have enough people to vote for one thing, you win. Very simply put. Now, Helium partners with Movistar to reach 2.3 million new subscribers in Mexico. I am not a fan of Helium. It was on its own blockchain. 2 years ago, it moved to Solana, which was the right thing to do. But I'm just not a fan of these deep-in projects. I am a fan of deep-in, but not these. We covered a sound noise level monitoring project. Really good project. Really good way to earn some passive income measuring the sound in your area. Loved it. I won't hold the token. Helium, I love the concept. Never going to hold the token. Okay? It's like gaming. Gaming, I love some gaming projects, but the tokenomics are trash. You wouldn't buy them. It's like Mexico. Mexico is probably a beautiful place to go on holiday. But would you hold its token? Would you hold its currency? No, because it will always go down against the dollar and the pound and the euro. So you won't. You know, there are countries which are beautiful places, but their currencies are rubbish. The same in crypto. There are great projects, but their tokenomics are trash. So much as I like Helium, and I cover them, they basically have a kind of way of using other people's mobile phones to provide internet access. And by providing internet access, you get Helium tokens. And it creates a mesh, like a 5G mesh. I believe they've also got a box that you can put in your house that you can connect to your internet that creates a 5G node. So there's loads of things that Helium are doing, but I'm just not a fan of the token. I'm a fan of the project. I think it's going to be really good in the future, and it seems to be one of the big ones that's really doing quite well. But anyway, if you're into Helium, that's massively bullish news for you. Massively bullish, because Mexico is next, but then it could be all of South America, then Africa, and then a lot of Asia. So it's massively bullish for Helium. I'm just not a fan of the token. Kato's Yap to Earn airdrop doxes and ranks crypto influencers. I actually got a claim, and I went and got it last night. I don't know what I got, $60, $70, $80, I don't know what I got. Basically, I signed up, It monitors your X account. It monitors what you talk about. And then it gives you Kaito, I think was the name of the token. So I got some Kaito last night and immediately sold it for Ethereum. Again, I'm honest. If I hold a token or if I sell a token, I'll always tell you. And I held my Dupe airdrop. I've held my Pudgy Penguins airdrop, my Zeus airdrop. Pretty much everything else I've got on Solana I've sold. That's the way it is. So, a highly anticipated airdrop has inadvertently leaked the wallets of crypto influencers and ranked them by net worth. Kaito is the airdrop token that powers Yap to Earn, a rewards program for influencers who authenticate to its API to sync their X tweets with Kaito. Shortly after 7 a.m., it began trading at 1 billion. Within an hour, it rallied 50%, and it's been declining ever since. That's why I sold. I think I got out at about 140, 150, something like that. But I don't really care where the price goes to. I'm not interested in it. Now, you can sign up to this. You can sign up to Kaito AI if you've got a Twitter account. If you've got a Twitter account and you're not following me, why? If you have got a Twitter account and you do tweet, sign up and you will be able to earn these tokens and you will be able to see where they're ranked. Now, again, I didn't get anywhere near these numbers, but it does show you the wallets of the influencers because the allocation ties up to the score on their site, which ties up to the wallet. So you can see who's got what. And again, it's brilliant because I'm not so bothered about doxing influencers. I don't really care about that. What I'm interested in is you seeing their wallets and then you can see who is sending them crypto. Because one of the problems in crypto is I can sit here and I can say to you, go and buy maple, go and buy syrup. Syrup is brilliant. It's the best thing since sliced bread because it's pancakes. Now, if I do that and you know what my wallet address is and you can see that I've been sent 1,000 or 10,000 syrup tokens, you know I'm being paid to say that. And of course, I have, well, if you've ever won an airdrop, a competition from me, sorry, you'll get it from my public wallet. And of course, it doesn't include the money I've got on exchanges, but you can see, and I am transparent, you can see my Solana wallet address, you can see my Chronos wallet address, you can see what I've got. And for the competitions, you can see the money coming in and you can see the money going out. So you know if I'm going to do a Papa or a Reaper giveaway, you can see the 200,000 Reaper coming in and then you can see the 200,000 Reaper going out. Or maybe 190 going out because I've got to pay for the gas fees, whatever it might be. So I try to be transparent. I'm never going to tell you how much I've got on exchanges, of course not, but you can see. And if anybody ever pays us for a promotion, it will go into my Solana or Chronos or MetaMask wallet. So although I don't sit here with my portfolio on the screen, I am trying to be as transparent as possible. And doxing these shillfluencers is the best thing for me because as far as I'm concerned, the majority of things you're told to do on the internet are because they've been paid to tell you. And that's why they cry about airdrops where they don't get an allocation. So if you see an airdrop where influencers haven't been given a token allocation, they'll be very negative about it. Because why didn't I get my $10,000 to talk about this on Twitter? That's the problem you've got. So as far as I'm concerned, they should all be doxed. And if they are a real influencer, they should have their wallets available for everybody to see and not have a hidden wallet where they get paid to do this because ZachXBT and people like that, they catch you in the end. So anyway, it's Friday and it's the end of the show. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I am going to head off. I am going to put the video that we made live. I haven't got a screen to show me on. There we go. Nope. My head is huge. My head is huge. Let's go down a little bit there. Right then. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. We have now got Maple as one of our partners. So we've now got WolfSwap, we've got Mew, and now we've got Maple. And hopefully it will be a long Partnership, you never know, it might last a couple of weeks. Hopefully it's going to last a very long time. We are going to make videos about Maple. We are going to tweet about Maple. We are going to talk about them on the streams. But again, we have Mew on the stream. We talk about WolfSwap. It doesn't take over the channel, but we want to let you know who sponsors us. And that's because we want you to know when we talk about them that you know we are sponsored by them. But we're not going to sit here and tell you to buy nothing but WolfSwap, Maple and Mew. That's not what we do. You know that. But we are honest as well, and we will tell you if we have a sponsor. So thank you everybody for watching. Have a great weekend. KB, Eugene, Solo Sky, everybody else that's watching, have a great time. See you soon. Oh, before I forget, Brogan is back at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock tonight, Brogan is streaming 9 hours from now. He will have his show. Take care.